Welcome everybody, my name is Soletat and this is my channel D30, a channel about tabletop role-playing games. So a very casual flip through of another book that I got, that I have won, and in a contest, in a convention. I've won a bunch of books. I already made a flip through of some of them. Before, I've made a flip through of Fury Pirates and what was the other one? Yeah, Cartoon Action Hour. Another one that I got into the loot that I won is this one. It's called Nemesis, A Perfect World. I don't know if you know about this game. Personally, I don't know anything about it. Just before, filming what you see, I flip a little through it. And basically, okay, I will start with saying that I'm not very convinced about this game, but I got it for free, so why should I complain? I will read the back of the book, maybe just to have us an idea of what it is. Your friends are dead, your family is missing, and the only thing standing between you and the angry mob is a body that can lift a ton, run at 100 miles per hour, and fire bolts of living flame. Welcome to the world after the end of the world. Don't be afraid, be relentless. So, Nemesis, A Perfect World, answers the old age question: what would you do with superpowers? Players create characters based on themselves. Blessed or cursed with fantastic powers and abilities, living in a realistic world full of deception. This time, the fate of the world doesn't depend on strange visitors from other worlds, mutants, or dark detectives. It depends on you. Right. So, what this game seems to offer at first glance is that you, as a player, you become superheroes. This is quite a big book. I flipped through it, lots of text and information. It's just a matter of taste, but it's a little too big to for me, okay, to get through it, okay. And just the fact that it's about you being a superhero, you the real you into a superhero. I wouldn't have never bought this game. It's maybe it's an awesome game, okay. Let's flip through that. Okay, some illustrations. Okay, you see some great superheroes. I love superheroes game, by the way, and my regular table at home. We're going to play a superhero campaign in a couple of weeks with Savage Worlds, so I'm looking forward to it. So a big introduction, with a big bunch of text. Okay, don't want to go through that. Okay, lots of information, probably to get you into the mood. Who wrote this game, by the way? Just want to Mr. Malcolm Harris. So if you're listening, well, it seems to be good work, but as I said, it's just a matter of taste. I'm not attracted to this game, and this game came out in 2001. Okay, right. Character generation. Okay, welcome. Da-da-da-da. For those who are new to role-playing game, we have gone out of your way to make simplified rules of combat and action and focused on, guess what? Role-playing. Okay. Now, in order to get started, you need to do two things. First, read the basic background. Okay, so the background of the world we're sent in. Read the character generation. You can read the game mechanics section, but if I were you, I'd save that for last unless you're game master. Okay, basic background. Okay, yeah, okay, that's what we've read on the back of the book. Okay, what is a role-playing game? Okay, what do I need to play? Character creation. That I want to know, the steps. A cast is simple way of seeing how characters will fit into the game. They call that cast. Templates, the basic are character generation, so templates. Attributes, calculated attributes. Okay. There's a lot of number in here, which I don't seem to figure this out. I take lots of role playing game that I've used before, and I can figure out the stuff quite easily. Sometimes I just can't figure this out. But okay, the creation point. Okay, I try it. I'm trying to see how you can create yourself into a role playing game, and I can't seem to find it easily. Okay. Um, okay, bringing it all together. For characters built from scratch, just follow the instruction below. Read the template and copy the template attributes and everything. You can purchase up to 40 points, so there's a point buy system. Purchase attribute, purchase your skills, purchase met, powers, spells, and disciplines. Okay, so basically, you're creating a character. There's no guidelines to how to evaluate yourself and make you into a superhero. So I guess the pitch was more like, well, welcome to what is called the role playing game. Imagine yourself if you're a hero. It's probably from that angle. Okay, character template. So with lots of background, let's in the template. Let's see what templates we have. We have the Magi. Probably someone doing magic. So we can make some sort of a Doctor Strange with lots of tables. Okay, the template. The template for Magi is kind of 4 pages long. Okay, lots of information. I don't know how crunchy it is, but there's lots of information. We have the Met. What is a Met? Meta-human. Okay, yeah. You're basically a superhero with powers, are the victims of and blessed of the Nemesis effect and account for 75% of the paranormal population. Powerful, long lived, and capturing the imagination of the world, meta-humans are the heirs and the children of the third age of man. They are the result of prophesied apocalypse. Okay, yeah. So we have the powerful superheroes, lots of pages. Oh, yeah, well, some cool illustrations. You can see some other superheroes. Normal. We have the normal. What are the normal? What can be said about them that has not been said before? These are the average, run-of-the-mill people that populate the world with no power, magic, and none. Okay. So they are fitting, people with normal people. I guess you can play them. Lots of pages. We have the Saved, which is, I will read what is it. What are Saved? Savids are the keeper of the legacy of an ancient and forgotten hero known as Xanthos. The clannish groups of the worldwide mystic martial artists are dedicated to protecting humans from the evil of the supernatural. With a legacy and history that spans centuries, Savids are still thought of only in whispered words and urban legend. So we have a template for that kind of martial artist guy, You see? All right. Sorcerel. Okay, another type of template, the sorcerel. Yeah. You see that kinky woman. Okay. The sorcerel have gone through many names. There isn't a group of paranormals with as many lies and truths written about them throughout myth and history. They are the witches you heard your mother speak when she told you stories that her mother had told her. When Hollywood tells tale of women of power, those they create are the shallow, weaker, watered down cliches that sprung from the truth. Okay, I won't read anymore, but sorcerel, kind of sorcerers. Okay. Supernatural, another type of template. Supernatural, the rarest and of the rare of in an increasingly paranormal world are the infamous supernatural. Vampires, werewolves, animates, fae, and Nephilim. Okay, you have some sort of vampires in there and werewolves if you want them. Right. Lots of page and tables about them and more. Yeah, they quite a big number of page for supernaturals, probably depicting the different types. It's just a supposition. I'm just flipping through skills. Okay, so you're buying skills, right? I will get through this rapidly. A couple of pages about skills, and then you have powers. So yeah, this is a point buy. So you have a lots of powers here. A very good lot of them. Um, I'm seeing that probably they have covered most of the classics of superheroics power in there. Just seeing um, flight, immortality, animal control, mental control, telekinesis, mental leap, elemental power. Okay, yeah, this seems quite complete. Then you have magic. I don't know how magic, of course, differs from powers, but they seem to have a very detailed rules about that. Okay, lots of page about magic, lots and lots and lots and lots. This is quite a big chapter. Okay, Sava disciplines, so all the martial artists, so can make some good thing with that. Okay, ghost walk, walk of the river, water synergy, walk fire. This seems to be some sort of different powers. Looks like superpowers, but probably with a different angle. I hope so, because there's a whole chapter on this. Finally, finishing touches. Okay, you have contacts, cash, quest. Okay, personality. Okay, so you have to check for your weapon if you want some, your gear, vehicles. Okay, lots of tables with all the stuff you can get. Mm-hmm. And then we are at the okay. We are in combat. What is a combat? So, right. I can't figure out really the system how it works. Okay, there seems to be lots of table. There's a trauma, just for example, a trauma effect table. Yeah, there's a hit location. Okay, you roll 2d6. And yeah, if you roll a double one, you hit the head. If you roll 7, you hit the torso, which is quite fair. So it has some special effect. If you hit something, if you hit the head, for example, make a fitness roll, difficulty 15, or lose lose the rest of attacks for turn. Okay. When you hit the torso, effect nothing. Or and there's another torso effect, lose next attack is applicable. Okay. So there are detailed rules for combat. Seems quite crunchy, there's lots of table and lots, about different situations. And since it's a flip through, I just can't make out the relation between the tables and the numbers yet. Game Master, dice rules. Okay. Begins with a big introduction to get us in the mood. At the beginning, when the first GM roamed the earth, a need to determine random events and effects fueled for the quest for the great randomizer. Some sought wisdom in letting a book drop open to the pages of fate. Some chose a higher method and cut deck of cards in order to scry events. However, the great randomizer moves in mysterious ways, while many sought for elusive tricks, he showed a few the great truth. 7 come 11. That's right. The games of bones taught us the way with mystic phrase. Buck cars, you win snake eyes, you lose. The maximum game system requires sorry, requires two six-sided dice to determine events and effects during gameplay. The following description are different combination of how the six-sided dice can fall, as well as how those results are adapted into Nemesis: A Perfect World. Dice are listed in the following format: 1D, D, with D being short for a single six-sided die. So you're using six-sided die. Okay, there's one die for yes or no statement. When the game master needs a random yes or no, okay, yeah, personally, I use that in my games. Sometimes I ask the players odd or even. Some of those of you, if you have ever played with me, it's a way for me not to fiat a decision, okay, or an outcome of something, okay. For example, if someone is, let's say we're in a situation where we might need a rope, okay, and in a game, where the equipment list is not as detailed, okay, it's just a virtual type of equipment list, okay. Do you have a rope? And I ask odd or even, and I let the player choose to see if he finally has a rope. Okay, that's a way I deal with some of those situations, because I try not to decide on everything. I don't want to fiat on everything. I let this dice decide. 2d6 is the most common use of the dice here. Two six-sided dice are used to determine success in actions, as well as charts and damage rolls. Okay, right, and okay. As I read a little before starting this video, it's not. I really can't make out how it works. They're talking about a skill difficulty chart, which I haven't found yet. There are some charts about strength, perception, fatigue, and they all seem different. Frankly, this is a very, very crunchy game in my impression. Maybe it's not, but okay. Let's say, okay, other situations, critical. Well, if you roll a natural 12, this is a critical roll. Natural 2, it's a critical fumble. And okay, let's say a critical roll in a combat, you double damage with a minimum of one rank done regardless of tough roll. And okay, skill +1 on the next skill roll. Okay, so these are easy to put, easy to use effect. And there's a similar thing on flub. Yeah, the fumbles, they call it flubs. Game design and game mastering. Yeah. Some game mastering advice. Okay, building an adventure. Okay, yeah, the experience point. And background. Okay, some background about what this game is proposing, the world, how it is. World. People. So we have some. Yeah, we have. I like that. There's a generic, okay, game master sheet for normal folks. In many role-playing games, this is the missing thing. Okay, we need sometimes to have the normal folks. Well, most of the role-playing have give you an idea of that, but I saw it. Well, I can't say often, but it occurred a couple of times where, hey, salut, Pierre. Okay, sorry. All right. So we have the different type of folks. We have the children's. Yeah, not often we have that. Okay. So okay, civil servant, criminal thug. If we need those dogs, adventure. Okay, characters. Okay, there's a lots of cast characters. Okay, some character sheets which are quite small. If you want to photocopy them, well, you have to work your photocopy machine unless it's somewhere on the net. Lots of them. First adventure, so there's a small adventure, blah, 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 with some very sparse maps, good enough maps to have an idea of what is going on, where are people. Afterward. Okay, some afterwards from the people who have worked with that, probably saying how proud they are of their game. Well, I hope they are. An index, very handy, of course. Social. Okay, a very detailed index, which seems to have what we need as information. And let's watch the character sheet. It looks like that. Very standard character sheet. You have the attributes here, secondary attributes. So yeah, the usual. Some lines for the skills, some last lines for powers, the spells. Right. Okay. A lot of work was put into that game. Seems to be a complete world. It's not there to make some generic superheroes. Okay, it comes with a setting, something in their head. Okay, and okay, right. Just like that, if you want to have some superpowers and all that, seems to be quite complete with different options you can have. Superpowers, spells, savads, like they said. So lots of variety there. I just, by flipping through it, I just can't seem to see where they're going with the game system. Maybe it's very easy game system, but I just can't, make it out just by seeing what I've seen here. There's lots of table for many situations, so lots of information to try to grab and and keep into your mind. Probably a big cheat sheet or a game master screen could be handy for a game like that, but feels like you have to stop, especially in the first couple of sessions if you want to run that, to check out the different tables. My feeling, though, just feeling, makes me think about a game that was some sort of a spin-off Star Trek game, Prime Directive, okay, which was a lot of different rules put together, and probably maybe it was an easy game by the end, but it just didn't felt that easy. I really tried in the 90s to understand Prime Directive and just discourage myself from doing it because I didn't have that much time to put into understanding a game and trying to see the logic of it. So that's my feeling with Nemesis. If you know about that game, maybe you can comment. If you have tried the game, I'd like to know your your feeling about it, your own review of it, because I'd like to see. Probably I'll see on RPGNet what they're saying about this game. I think I should do that. I don't think it's a game I will use. Okay, I got it for free. Okay, I would have never bought this. It's not because it's a bad work, but just the pitch doesn't get me into it. And if I want to play superheroes, I have lots of cool games here. I'm a big fan of Phase Rip. We're going to play Savage World Superheroes, and I have a good feeling about it. I think we can work this out. And there are other games that got my interest. If we're talking about superheroes, I have this is a French role-playing game, but this is a French YouTuber which made a game called Super 6. It's in French, so I have a great feeling about this one, but nevertheless, it won't be my first choice. Maybe a good game, but for my taste, it didn't grab my attention enough to make me want to try it. So that was my big ramble for tonight. I wanted to share with you. And I'll have some other books from that loot I had in the upcoming time. So, yeah, thank you for being with me with this very casual flip through of Nemesis, A Perfect World. François Letard, JDR, D30, and up to next time, I hope you have as much fun in your life as in your games. Goodbye. I'll stop the broadcast now. I said now.